So in lesson two, we're going to talk about essential team roles. So just keep in mind, you don't have to go out and hire all these people. Actually, when you're starting, you might be all these people, to be honest with you. But these are just the roles that's gonna be essential for, when you have your facility. So, however you want to break it up, whatever responsibilities you want to give to people. Some of them you have to be a nurse clearly, but we'll talk about that in a second. So assisted living facility requires a variety of staff to provide comprehensive care and support for residents. The specific roles and positions can vary based on the size of the facility, the need of the residents, and the services offered. So that's self-explanatory. Depending on the size and the need of your facility, some of these you might not even need, and I'll tell you as we go. So administrator or executive director. I mean, that can be you, the owner. That's the person that's responsible for the overall management, compliance, and regulations. That's the person when the state, when the state does the survey, they're going to want to speak to the manager. They're going to speak to the person in charge. They're going to want you to write the reply to whatever survey. And if they have any issues, they're going to want to speak to you mainly. So that can be you, that can be a manager, but it has to be someone. So then you have the registered nurse, RN, or the LPN. So mostly you'll have an RN in a facility that will be your delegating nurse. Those are the people that will write the care plans for you. Remember I said that, before you admit a client to your facility, you have to have a care plan written. The care plan is then who your staff, which is probably a CNA or aide or a licensed home health agent, that they're going to have to follow that care plan. But the RN has to do the initial assessment, and they have to write the care plan for that person to follow that's doing the day-to-day work. Now, normally you just have a contract with the delegating nurse, and then for each assessment you pay them. For example, my DN charges $100 an assessment. You have a contract with her, you tell her, oh yeah, I have a new client coming. Him or her will go out and do the assessment and write the care plan. They charge you for it. And then you make copies and put that in the client's book. And then you make sure the staff is then briefed on that care plan. So when a new client moves in, they know how to care for this person. Also, the DN has to do an assessment on a client if they're hospitalized. So if something happens, they get sick and they get hospitalized, before they return to the facility, the DN has to do another survey. They charge you for that as well. Or every 45 days. Some states is less, some states are more, but then every 45 days they have to do a reassessment, which is normally cheaper than an initial assessment. They're just going over and make sure there was no changes in the client's condition, everything looks good, everything seems the same. You don't have any deteriorating conditions that got worse. They give you okay, everything changed, or if some things change and they want to adjust some things in the care plan, that's their time to adjust things in the care plan. So you'll have that delegating nurse, that's their responsibility. CNAs, you can use those, to work in your facility. GNAs, geriatric nursing assistants, home health aides, they all kind of fall into the same bracket. They are all more on like the daily, people that's there on a daily, doing the daily care. So those are going to be your people that are your staff workers, your main workers that's going to be there day to day. Then you have like an activity director, recreation coordinator. You can do that. I mean, I did that. I love putting together activities for clients. But if it's under a certain amount of clients, you don't need a certificate for that. Some facilities, if you're over a certain amount of people, they make you take a class to be an activity director, but I never did that. You'll be in charge of, organizing recreational activities, social events, outing, things like that. My mother would step in and sometimes help do that. She loved making different activities and things for them to do. And that was her role for a while, and I took over. and then you have a dietary manager, a dietitian. So you have to have a dietitian look over your meal plan. Each facility has a